In the future, all companies producing vaccines against COVID-19 in the EU will have to provide early notification whenever they want to export vaccines to third countries.
Canada's ongoing vaccine supply problem. Hi, I'm Brian Lilly, political columnist with the Toronto Sun. If you thought the days of Canada having problems with our vaccine supply were over and done with, that St. Justin Trudeau had magically received all the doses that we need to look after the whole country, well then think again. First off, we are doing better than we were at the beginning of February when we were getting 0 doses at one point, or a fraction of what we'd been promised. This week, more than 1 million Pfizer doses. We were supposed to get just about 900,000 Moderna doses. Those have been put off. And of course, sometime between now and the end of next week, we're expecting 1.5 million AstraZeneca doses to be delivered from the United States. But all that could come to a grinding halt. Not because of problems with manufacturers this time, but because the European Union is now looking at export controls once again. They put them in place in case they needed them at the end of January, and now they might need them. They're talking about making sure that European Union countries are looked after first, saying that everything is being considered, that they need to look after their own people before shipping vaccines elsewhere. That was the story in the New York Times, citing documents seen by the Times, confirmed by EU sources. And that includes the potential to hit Canada. Let me read to you directly from the article. Britain is by far the biggest benefactor of EU exports and will stand to lose the most by these rules. But they could also be applied to curb exports to other countries like Canada, for example, the second largest recipient of EU-made vaccines, as well as Israel, which gets doses from the bloc, but is very advanced in its vaccination campaign and therefore seen as less needy. The article goes on to quote a spokesperson for Minister Mary Ng, who's leading on this file, saying that it is concerning. So the federal government is actually concerned about this. They continue to say that their counterparts and the companies have assured them that Canada won't be hit. But once again, we could be. This would just exacerbate a situation that's already dire. Every day I'm asked why we can't look after this age group or that age group in a specific province. Why is this province only doing over 80s or over 75s and others are doing over 60s? Why are workers in one class not being vaccinated while others are? And the bottom line, even before the EU looks at cutting back or stopping exports, is that we don't have enough supply as it is. Not even with 1 million doses a week coming in from Pfizer, will we have enough to look after everyone who wants the vaccine in a timely fashion. It's why we've extended the interval between doses to 4 months. It's why we will still be months behind other countries. And now along comes this EU possibility of cutting the doses back. If this were to happen, I did the numbers, and if this were to happen and they let us have next week's shipment and then shut us down, we'd be looking at losing out 6.1 million doses of Pfizer roughly over the following 6 weeks. Shipments would start up again in mid to late May. As for Moderna, we'd be looking at another 3 to 4 million doses that would be blocked. That in total means 9 to 10 million doses not coming into this country just as provincial systems are ramping up because supply is finally starting to show up. If you thought that it was going too slow for your age group or your class of worker or your relatives before, it will only be worse if this actually goes through. We have to pray that it doesn't. Justin Trudeau has messed up the vaccine procurement from the beginning. He's been able to score a couple of points like getting 1.5 million doses from the Americans or getting 1.5 million doses from India because someone else rejected their shipment. But that is not a plan, that is luck. And we're going to need more than luck if we're going to get through this and start getting back to normal by summer.